Oh, there we go.
There we go. Okay, so if this is it working, this is probably as good as it's going to get. So shall we crack on, guys?
Yeah, we'll go for it. Well, I'm following your lead because apparently we've got a game to play, and I don't know what that is. He hasn't told us any details.
Look, I've done a little quizzy for you guys. It's only a few questions, but the winner will get a prize. I don't know what the prize is yet, is the truth, but we'll figure that one out when we've got a winner.
Okay.
But there was an article that you sent us, Nathan, that you wanted us to read, and it's basically a shitstorm about how Urbex is bad, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, yeah. It just basically goes on to all the bad points of Urbex and stuff. And the thing is, in the article, there's a lot of stuff which isn't necessarily untrue, but there's a lot of stuff that is kind of taken out of proportion. It's like, it's very biased, isn't it? It's one-sided.
Yeah, depends on what angle you take with it. There is a lot of risks with urban exploring, but it depends if you're silly or not, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
also one of those things, like, we try and do the explores so other people can't do the explores, but we can't be that. We can't police what other people do, so it's not as if we're telling other people to go to there, so we can't stop other people doing. It's like, remember when we did the care home place?
Yeah,
and they had that incident with the kids and stuff, like, and we were getting hated on for that because it was like, oh, apparently it's our fault, but we can't stop people from going to places.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? We post our videos online. We don't say where they are. We don't give out locations, but if people figure it out, they're going to go there. Obviously, you got people that go like the bingo hall we went to, Nathan, in that place that I nearly said, but I'm not going to. And the people were hanging off the roof, like, you know.
Yeah. Oh, actually, talking of not naming places, Anthony last week, or sorry, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, no, here we go.
I got a bone to pick with you.
Which remember that
when we did the podcast before, and I was like, I'm not going to name places, and then you literally named it in the chat, and I was like, delete.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I said in the area, as in, like, I didn't specifically give the location away.
Yeah, don't narrow it down though. Anything that narrows it down, don't make it easy for him.
That's the thing. When people ask for locations, it's like, it really annoys me because that's half of urban exploring, is actually finding the places yourself.
To be fair, it is, because there's a lot of like, if you're a good researcher, you'll get good locations. That goes hand in hand. It's not just a matter of stumbling on somewhere. So quite often, those good locations have taken hours and hours and hours of finding, or searching, or looking through history, looking for listed buildings. There's tons involved in it. So it's not just the going out and exploring part. There's
experience as well. I've noticed, like, people who've been doing this, like, for quite a long time. Most of us have been doing this over 5 years now.
Yeah.
And you just kind of, it just becomes a lot more easier to do your research. I've only just started now finding my own locations, whereas I've had other sources who are able to source me locations before, like being personal friends, whereas now I can physically find them myself.
Don't get me wrong, there's obviously a lot of stuff that gets passed between Urbex channels and things. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, I'll swap this location for that location, but it's down to the person who has the locations as to whether they trust that person or not. It is a huge trust thing. So if you don't trust that person not to pass it on to 1,000 other people, don't give it to them. So
absolutely. I mean, Angel commented in the live chat, the media twist everything, and they will always be someone who isn't happy. Fuck them. And I must say that's very true. Media, there's some reporters and things that love Urbex, and then you get the ones that hate it. Like, for example, the boxing club, where, you know, they could have made an article about the heroin needles and people smoking crack in there, but no, they made an article about us being there without permission, which, was my own fault. I learned from my mistakes. I'm not saying anything, but you know what I mean? There was so many other things that they could have put in that article.
It's always breaking and entering as well, isn't it? They're always accusing us of there's always someone that goes, there's no way you can get into this location or that location without breaking and entering. There's no way it's just that easy, but sometimes it is just that easy. Looking for that little hole somewhere just to get into somewhere, you know.
But the thing is, the amount of places that I've been to, I mean, I remember the very first place I ever went to, which was a fort, and it was on top of a hill, and it had a fence the whole way around the fort. And being inexperienced and didn't know what I was doing, we were just like, we'll just climb the fence. So we did. We climbed the fence and then got in, and then literally 2 foot away, there was a hole.
I know the place you're on about, I think.
Yeah. So the thing is, there is almost 99.9% of the time, there is usually a hole or some way in that doesn't require you to climb. Other times you do have to climb, but it's just general sense now. You go around the whole place or go and look for a way in before you start just jumping over fences and stuff, because you don't need to. No. They're usually open.
Not so long ago, I did a video on the Rockstar's mansion, and I remember going there, and we couldn't find anywhere to get in whatsoever, and I almost gave up. And I saw a little gap around the fence, and I had to stretch. And I'm like 6'2" almost, and I had to proper stretch to climb around to get onto these balconies. And I'm glad I did do it, because one of the balcony doors, four doors down, one of the doors was open and we was able to get in. Whereas if I would have just gone, well, you know what, cut my losses and go, I would never have that great explore.
I do want to just say, though, in terms of like the actual article, I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit and say that actually it's not all wrong. So a lot of these things are, I would say, generally sensationalist hit pieces to get people to buy papers. But with this particular one, the reason I thought it would be a good talking point is because, yes, it does slate us and it's good to get our point of view as well. But at the same time, a lot of what it says isn't wrong. It just isn't a blanket for every single channel or every single explorer out there.
Max just said there are a few idiots that give the genuine people a bad name, and that's very true. I think it's because you say a few idiots, but the majority of people that call themselves urban explorers are twats, and they just go around with their obviously daddy issues and stuff, smashing shit up to make them feel better. And I feel like that's a big part of the stigma around Urbex.
This is the problem. Urban Explorer itself is a very wide title. It's something that's used for a lot of people. People who go and steal stuff, smash stuff, vandalize, general trespassers, all of that for some reason comes under Urban Explorer. Even things like paranormal investigators and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is my next week. My topic is going to be on paranormal investigation. Just so you know, because that is something that I want to talk about. But there's so much stuff that comes under the blanket of Urban Explorer, but it doesn't mean that they are urban explorers. Us urban explorers, when we make videos or take pictures or whatever, we have a general code as to what to do at sites, how we get in sites, how we act in sites. It's all in there. But those people that go in there, smash things up and climb on roofs and just put themselves in danger, generally not classed as urban explorers. They're just idiots. I think it's a personal choice. Every time you go to somewhere like this, it's a personal choice how you act when you're there. And if you're going to act like an idiot, then you're going to have things like, people getting fatalities, falling through roofs, hurting themselves, hurting others, damaging places, knocking places down, whatever. But if you're sensible and you know not to treat it with disrespect and to be careful when you're there, then you're going to be fine.
Well, that's it.
Hopefully going to be fine. It doesn't negate the risk completely.
Just on that, from our own personal experiences, have you guys ever had an experience where you've been near death on an explore? Or a time that you felt like, oh shit, this is bad?
So I wouldn't say I've got that close. I mean, there's a few places I've been to and there's been open lift shafts, which are always a scary thing. And I've been quite close to those and gone, oh my god. But I think the closest I would say anybody who I've been on an explore with has ever come to death was actually Neil.
I was going to say Neil.
Yeah, it was Neil. It was when we went to.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course it would be. We went to explore an abandoned car factory. It was when we were out with Steve Ronan and unfortunately exploring with fighters as well. And they'd started demolishing part of the building already. So some of the floors, although they
I
had
remember
doors,
seeing that video. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, although they had doors to the floors weren't there. And we went up this stairwell, and every single door was like nailed shut or screwed shut. But for some reason, this one door wasn't, and it was still open. And Neil went to walk out, and it's pitch black, and there's no floor.
Brilliant.
And luckily, at the last second, saw that there was no floor and pulled his leg back in. But that is the closest. And I remember feeling genuinely scared for him, and the fact that I was just about to see my friend die. So yeah, that's probably the closest ever I think any of us have come.
Okay, I think I've been quite lucky. I think, considering I am me, because you know what I'm like. I think
you've got a black eye, mate.
Yeah, but we're not allowed to talk about that. Yeah, there was one time where I did actually think, oh shit, but I played it off so cool, and it was the car caves. We'd got down and we'd started coming back up, and I got up first, and Jamie, Neil, and you, Anne, couldn't get up that last bit, and I had to pull you all up. And I was thinking, oh my god, I'm going to have to leave him here. That's it. It's fucked. That's it. But no, I managed to pull all three of them up. And look at me. I'm like a scrawny little... I pulled all three of them up.
The thing is, I do think when stuff like that happens as well, adrenaline kicks in. Because you're kind of like, shit, we're really in trouble right now. And you're like, I have to get them up. Otherwise, we're fucked.
I've always been scared of heights. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, so when I was in the army previously, I never had any problems with heights, and I don't know why. As I've got older, my body's just gone, nah, I don't like this. So my fear is, other than spiders, when we did that, is heights. And I feel like every time we go somewhere, it's either somewhere potentially that could have heights, and I'm always challenging myself. So essentially, I've not really put my life at risk, but I'm putting my mind, I'm testing my mind constantly whilst I'm exploring, especially like with the car caves and stuff like that. I've been there 3 times and I've not even recorded a video for it. I mean,
I know how you feel, because like I've struggled with heights for years. And I'm getting much better actually. I remember I can say the name of this place because it's not there anymore. Red Hill Earthworks, that's it. Red Hill Earthworks. Yeah. So that place I went to twice, and the first time I got scared on the first level, and I was like, I can't do this. And I went back down again, and we went back away, and I was like, I'm so annoyed at myself for not pushing myself further. So we went back again, and I got to the very top, the very, very top, and I remember that because that was like such an accomplishment. But yeah, I've struggled with that as well.
Don't you feel like especially because obviously the main rule for us is like we don't explore alone, so we always take at least one other person.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like whenever you get somewhere, if it's somewhere new, and because you can't always do the research without getting, especially we can't guarantee a way in, so it's more of you're always thinking on your toes, on the spot sort of thing. It's like, because you can't do the research because say it's 2, 3, 4 hours away, you have to like think on your toes, right, what can we do, how can we use teamwork to obviously get around this obstacle.
Absolutely, because especially if you're doing a local place, it's not too bad. But I know the amount of times we've been on road trips. We've gone somewhere like I said, 3 or 4 hours away, and you can't research every place because you don't know if you're going to get into every place. So you have.
That's the thing. You could travel for hours and hours and go on like a 3-day trip and get two locations out of 10. Right? Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it?
The thing is, the amount of videos you've seen us do on the channels, think about the places we haven't got into and how many places we haven't filmed.
And just on that, I'm just going to pause us for a second because we've had a comment, random question, but how many places do you think you guys have all visited in the time you've been doing this? Now, that's a good question because
quite relevant.
There's a lot of places we go to and we don't film. Like, there's a lot of places I've been to and not filmed. I've been to the same places multiple times, things like that. But I couldn't actually tell you is the truth of it because it's a hobby. It's not just YouTube. It is a hobby. So there's.
Yeah, I know I've got somewhere between 150 and 200 explore videos on the channel.
Yeah, times that by 5.
Yeah, it's probably around about that.
Yeah, that's what I was
There's quite a
thinking.
few places that I've been to when we've not got in. I mean, I remember.
Yeah.
Do you remember going out to Birmingham? We went to that police station, and we got there. It was just,
I was so excited about that as well.
We
and
got
it was
there.
just a pile of rubble. Yeah,
I've been to so many
remember.
places like that as well. You know, you just get there a week too late or something like that. It's
that was funny though, because we were just like, it should be anywhere here. Like, walked around the corner, and there's just this big mound of rubble.
Do you know what? On that, me and Jamie had a really bad one. We drove all the way to Cheltenham or Chelmsford. Which one's over the other side of London?
I've no idea. You think my
One of
geography would be better, but it's not.
Yeah, it was a big leisure centre, and it had literally been posted on 28 days later, like 2 days before, and we got there and they'd started demolishing it. And then I remember posting into the group chat, and Nathan, you were like, "Oh yeah, you should have asked. Someone told me they started demolishing it today." And I was like, "Fuck's sake, really?" So we basically drove all the way there from McDonald's, which isn't unlike me, is it? Let's be honest.
How many times have you done that now?
yeah, isn't it?
You.
Well, me and Matt and Neil, not last year, the year before, we went all the way to the Isle of Wight on the impulse that we had 5 or 6 locations, or pretty much
That was a
guaranteed.
trip, wasn't it? If I'm right.
Yeah,
in saying.
yeah. So we went all the way over there and we came blank. So we went all the way to Isle of Wight and got nothing out of 6 locations. Yeah. Absolutely devastated.
See, Isle of Wight's a funny one. It's one of those places that I've been to a few times, and they get sealed so quick.
Yeah, they've got a big channel over there.
Yeah, I know Abandoned Isle of Wight is a big channel. I've spoken to him a few times actually, but it's not just him as well. I think with the Isle of Wight, because it's such a small island and their police force is just basically focusing on that one area, whenever something gets opened, word gets round that it's open and it gets sealed very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously with England, there's a big country. There's lots of things out in the middle of nowhere that can't really get to. You can't get to them unless you actually know where they are. Whereas the Isle of Wight is very small, and every person knows where everything is on the Isle of Wight. So it's hard to get places unless you get there within the few days that they're open.
Well, that's it though. I mean, there's a lot of that here, though, isn't there? What do we call it? The tour bus, when the tour bus goes somewhere.
Yeah.
And you know, if you don't get there in the first week of it going on all the Facebook groups,
just forget it.
What's the point? Yeah. It's literally like that.
See, I've got this mentality as well. Whenever I see like something going big, I mean that one we did. What was it? I can't remember what it's called now. It was the one with the massive swimming pool that you, me, and Neil did.
Yeah. Where Neil went and we had to go back, didn't we?
That's it. Yeah. So we literally did that just before the tour bus kind of arrived. But if that tour bus had arrived before we'd done it, it wouldn't be worth doing. It just wouldn't be worth doing. And I've got that mentality of like, if I see somewhere that's getting really popular, I'll just start looking elsewhere. Because there's no point.
It's like Chernobyl. I've always really wanted to go to Chernobyl, and I'd still love to go, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to go anytime soon. I'm going to wait because it's in fashion now. It's popular. Everyone wants to do it. Yep. So I'm going to wait till everyone's gotten over the hype and I can actually go and enjoy it myself. And
see, Fukushima would be a really good one to go to.
Yeah, well, that all got messed up, didn't it? We were working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so annoying as well, because you think back to like just before COVID hit, we were actually like planning stuff. We had a trip to Scotland already sorted, and then COVID. It was like great.
What's really frustrating is like, as well as yourself, me and Oscar's channel was starting to really pick up pace as well just before COVID. We had a lot of videos coming out, good content, both of us.
Yeah, I remember you two sort of competing as to who was going to hit 1,000 first.
Yeah. He hit it 3 times and then went back.
Oh yeah, don't even go there, mate. It all seems kosher now. I think our chat is way behind where we are on the stream. So I'm just gonna answer a few of these questions. So Paul, no, I haven't been in a fight. Angel, you had just left them as well, you fucker. Amazing what adrenaline can do. I wouldn't have left them in the car caves. I'm a nice person, I saved them. I think everyone's scared of heights. I'm not so scared of heights. It's the wind at high altitude that gets me.
Do you know what I find the most scary about heights though when it comes to like Urbex?
Falling.
Well, yeah, obviously falling. But what I mean is like, you know how we go with somebody else, and the reason for that is for like safety purposes. So like, say you bump into someone or you hurt yourself or whatever, someone else can get help.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do, even if you're with somebody, if you fall from a height.
No.
True.
And that's what scares me most of all, is the fact that I can hurt myself, step on a needle, step on a nail, whatever, or trip over and bang my head or something.
Step on a needle, you'll get AIDS, mate.
But I could do that and still get help. Whereas if I fall off a really high building, no matter who you've got with you, you're fucked.
Yeah, it's like when we went to the car caves, isn't it? We're literally just, every time we're just thinking about like scenarios. Like the worst thing is if you just fall back, or when me and Neil went to the slate mines, a different place up in Wales, and
is that your recent one?
Yeah, our most recent one. Yeah, with the really
ladder.
tall ladder. Yeah, so we were chatting about it after, going like, so what happens if? Because I actually got halfway up the ladder, and then something in me just went, nah, don't do this, because once you get halfway, there's nothing supporting it, so there's quite a bit of flex.
It's flex.
The ladder by itself, the last ladder was like 100 foot plus. And there's quite a bit of flex. And he was like, when I come down, we got to the floor and everything that we were chatting about, and he goes, if you fell, what would I do? It's like, I would have to
go out. You'd have to go outside and just call someone and be like, look, my mate's dead, come and help me get the body.
The thing is, we were so far into the mine, it would take him at least 10-15 minutes, and that was as if he would run. It was a 45-minute walk.
And that's assuming you even get a signal when you go outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what? That links right back to the article we were talking about at the beginning of the stream. Like, there is so many risks, and there is such a high chance of fatality, but that's kind of what gives what we do that little bit of an edge, isn't it? You know, we go out, say goodbye to our loved ones, we may not see you again.
So yeah, that is true. That is part of the thrill, isn't it? But at the same time, like I said, it's talking about these tragic accidents and stuff, and it's saying about teenagers and things like that. It is just about being sensible. Like, obviously you got to that ladder in those slate mines, and you got sort of halfway up, and you thought, nah, this is a stupid idea. Some people don't have that mentality where they will go, do you know what, I should probably not do this. Other people will be like, do you know what, I'm just going to do it. Who cares? Let's just go for it. We're here for a good video. And it's like, your life's more important.
Yeah,
just
everyone wants a good video, but there's limits, isn't there?
Exactly, yeah. There's
a point where you can test the boundaries, but you also need to know where the boundaries meet and you don't go past it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone likes to push their boundaries a little bit, but there has to be a point where you go, nah, that's it, that's enough.
yeah, definitely. And there's been plenty of times where I've gone, actually, no, it's not even worth it, let's go home.
Yeah, I think of one, actually. I can remember what was it called? Again, I can't name this one because this one's still here, but it was a bromine factory. It was bromine. I've got to be careful every time I say things. I can't name this. But there's a bromine factory in Wales, and basically there was a big old ladder that went down underground into a big pit. And I remember I went with Warren, Neil, and Simon, and they were like, "Oh, it's 100 feet down," and I'm like, "Fuck that! 100 feet down? No way!" But in the video, actually, when they looked at it, it wasn't 100 feet down. You could tell, but because they told me it was 100 feet down, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I refuse to do it.
Yeah.
The thing is, you shouldn't go with anyone who turns around and goes to you, "Oh well, come on, mate. You should do it. Push yourself." Because
that's it. If you don't feel comfortable, the people that you're with should support that.
Exactly, and the people I do go with are very good with that. It's but some people will get peer pressure, don't they? They'll get pushed into it.
Well, that's the thing. I remember saying to Jamie before the car caves, because Jamie's never been great at climbing, and he'll admit that himself. And on the way up to the car caves, it was a long old drive, and I remember saying to him, look, if we are standing at the top of that drop and you think, I can't do this, or this is a bad idea, I shouldn't do it, don't do it for the sake of the video, wait at the top. And I said to him, if I feel like that, I'll do the same. And we were at the top, and even in the video, you can see Jamie's looking over the edge, and I'm fucking stood back there like, oh my god. But you know,
the car caves are something that you guys have all done, and I've flat out refused, haven't I? Every single time you said we're going to the car caves, I'm like, nah.
So when you look down from the top, it looks really daunting, but once you actually start getting hands on, it's not actually that bad. It's actually quite easy, but
I think you have
it's your
to
own
have
personal preference.
I think you have to have a certain confidence in your own climbing ability.
I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. But there's anyone watching from my channel. This is why you've seen car cave videos from everyone pretty much who I know, and not me. It's because I refuse point blank to go there. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, I've invited you a couple of times, haven't I, to go up to mines and stuff like that.
It's just not me. Like, I mean, I love mines. Don't get me wrong. I actually love climbing. I've done like a few mines actually where I've had to climb through little small gaps. That doesn't bother me. I'm not claustrophobic or anything. I don't mind the dark. I don't mind going underground. I don't like heights.
So we've had a question. Just to go back to live chat. So Angel, who's been making quite an input on today's live chat, has asked, I was going to ask when you guys started and what made you want to start exploring, apart from the fact it's awesome, of course. So what actually got you guys into exploring?
So it was really weird. So I've been exploring even when I was younger. I was like bunking off school and stuff like that. And just around from where I used to go to school, there was this abandoned place. So I used to just like go there, basically not go to school because I thought I was just this rebel. And as I got older, I kind of phased out of it and then started getting more into it. And I remember watching some of Neil's videos and I thought, you know what, I like doing this myself, maybe I should document it as well. So I started going around abandoned places, but I found myself going around like really old, more historic places. So I thought, well, I'm into spiritual things. How about we make a channel doing like ghost hunting and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So we rolled with that for a bit, and next thing you know, we're spending more time going into more newer buildings that are like abandoned and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to cut out this like ghost thing and just do exploring. And then ever since then, I've just been exploring. So I've been doing it about 5 years now. But I think the channel's, I'm not sure if the channel's 5 years old or only 3 years old. I can't remember, but I've been actually exploring for about 5 years.
For me, it happened, me and my friend, well, to be honest, he's not really my friend anymore. I still say hello to him if I see him in the street, but he was like one of my best mates back then. We got really stoned one night and we were watching Exploring with Josh. And we decided we like this looks fun. We're going to go and explore the next day. So we went to the slag of urban exploring locations, Holton Heath. And we went there. And do you know what we said at the time? We said, it doesn't matter if we get really big on YouTube. This is cool. We like this hobby. Our achievement will be if we get to make a video of Exploring with Josh, which I have actually done. So I've achieved what I want and what you're after. So if you want to help me make money, please watch my videos right till the end. Otherwise, don't really care that much.
So for me, it was more historical interest in the first place. I've told this story quite a few times. I mean, I started at college doing 16th century history and archaeology. So for me, it always had an interest. And I, the same as you, I watched Exploring with Josh and thought, that's an interesting concept. I like that. And at the time, I had another channel which was all about life experiences and doing different things and then recording the days you felt like you'd actually lived. So I did things like going out with the kids, going on bike rides, all that kind of stuff. But there was other things I wanted to do, more extreme things. And I ended up teaming up with another channel called Exploring the Unseen World. And we went to that fort I was talking about, and I just got the bug from there. I was like, I love this. This is like a mini documentaries, and I love watching documentaries. So I was like, yeah, this is me. So I've been doing it about 3 years now. And yeah, I still love it. I absolutely do love it. There's times when you kind of like, oh, the scene's going a bit funny in it. Some people that just use it for views, and there's some people that actually genuinely care about the places.
On our channel, we've always done all sorts of stuff. That's why it's what you after. Whatever you're after, you're having it, you know. But Urbex is our main thing. Anyway, time for the quiz. In the video where I get powder in my eye, what colour is the powder?
Purple.
Well done, Nathan gets the first point.
Come on, dude, I edited it.
What You After were a little late joining the collaboration vote. But who was our first collaboration with? Now, this person has been mentioned in the chat very recently.
I'm going to guess Exploring the Unseen World.
Yeah, Nathan, that's another
Oui.
point for you. Come on, Ant, you need to snap up with these
I
answers.
didn't even realise we were even in the quiz. I was chatting to the wife.
Oh, well, it's not important right now.
Come on, tell the wife to go away. You've got to win at this quiz.
Oh, you're already 2 ahead now. That's it.
Mate, you've got a chance. You've got a chance. So at the start of the Aylesbury
Wait a
FC
second. Does it mean I have to be watching your videos?
Yeah, this is all about what you after.
Oh dear.
Have you got something to say? At the start of the Aylesbury United video, I claim my name is...
Oh, no, I can't remember this. I remember you saying it, but I can't remember what you said.
It begins with an A.
I don't know. I genuinely don't
Ask
know.
the audience.
I'm gonna take a guess at Adam.
No, okay, I'll tell you what. No one gets that one. It was Alejandro.
Oh, of course it was. I was like, I know this, but I can't remember it.
Okay, the next question. On What You After, whose clips, apart from my own, have I used the most? Nathan's or Neil's?
Hmm.
I'm gonna give Ant a chance to have a guess at this because I think I know the answer.
I reckon Nathan's.
Yep, you are correct.
Yeah, that's
You
what I
are
would have guessed as well.
Okay, so on What You After, our most viewed video is...
How to get a black eye. Well, how to give yourself a black eye.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
I actually think, Anne, I think you've actually not got a chance of winning now. But we'll do the last question anyway. So to the nearest 5,000, how many views does that video have?
Was it 20? Was it 25,000 or something like that?
I'm gonna say 18,000.
Oh, well, you bastards, it's actually 60,000. But
Is it bloody hell? Jesus Christ!
Well, I'll say that. Yeah, I swear the last time you told me it was like 20-odd thousand. Obviously, it was a while ago, so.
It makes me laugh though, because you always gripe about that because it's not an Urbex video and it's your most popular video.
Yeah,
and it was it was Jamie's idea, wasn't it? It was Jamie's idea as well.
Isn't it your shortest video as well?
It's my shortest video. It's the one that had the least effort. It was Jamie's idea and it did really well. But hey, let's move on. In fact, how to give yourself a nosebleed has just hit 10k, so that's something, isn't it? But,
well, I think it's about time you change the flow of your channel, maybe towards how to do stuff to yourself. Well, that sounded wrong.
This is the thing. This is the thing. They seem to do really well, but I don't like doing them. They're poor videos. But am I wrong in saying we've all done something because we thought that would be good for the channel?
Absolutely.
I mean, can I just take a moment to remind you what happened to my ankle?
The illustrious grounded podcast father.
Oh, something fell. And I promise you that was only because of views, and that video did shit.
And it was totally wasn't worth having a tattoo on your ankle for.
If I was bothered about views, I probably wouldn't even be doing YouTube. Just because sometimes, sometimes I find that the least effort I put into a video does better than the ones I put more effort into a video.
This is the thing, you can't drive what you do by views.
No,
I
exactly.
mean, what I'm only getting to the stage now currently when I'm getting consistently good views for my videos, and when I say good, it's good in terms of what my channel size is, but not good in terms of the rest of YouTube. For a very, very long time, I had views where it was like 30, 40, 50 views a video, if that. So
that's kind of what mine are doing at the moment, where I haven't been posting now. Yeah,
you've got to love it, even if people aren't watching it. You've got to love what you're doing, and that's how you keep going.
What I love about what we do is, I mean, me and Jamie, we've had YouTube channels for years and years and years, and we've always made videos, and it's only been on What You After that we've done Urbex, and I didn't start that with Jamie, but all of our old channels are on private. But there's hundreds of videos that sometimes, like, when we get a chance to get together, I know we can't at the moment because of lockdown, but we sit there for hours and watch our old videos, because it's not so much we're watching them to give them views, we're watching them because they're memories, and we like sitting there and looking at, do you remember what we did 8 years ago? And do you know what I mean? That's
exactly it. I mean, for example, there's that video that you and I have never released, the Ready Steady Cook one.
Do you still have the clips for that? Because I'm ready to release it.
I don't know, to be honest. I have no idea. But we did on the same road trip. Actually, we went to that Birmingham police station. It was flattened, but we did a Ready Stay Cook video. It was like 2 a.m, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like stupid in the morning. We just thought we were like, this is a great idea. So we went and filmed ourselves shopping at Tesco's, and which actually, coincidentally, my last year's rewind, the very last clip of me against a fence was filmed in Tesco's underground car park.
The best clip out of your whole music video was the clip I recorded.
It was at Tesco's underground car park. We filmed that.
Tesco.
Got back home and decided to film this thing, which took us hours and hours and hours. By the time we got to bed, it was like 2:30 in the morning, and we've never released it. We never released it, but we did it because we liked the idea and thought it was funny. And it was nothing to do with Urbex. We all love Urbex, but we also all love making videos.